Idolo latruo in the Bible means to serve what you see, and that's what I want to call this video. It's actually the word idolatry. It comes from ido, which means to see, and latruo, which means to serve. So to serve what you see. So I want to call this, as I said, to serve what you see, and in Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 8 it says, all things are full of labor, man cannot utter it, the eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. So you can't be satisfied with what you put into your eyes and ears. It's not enough. And so that brings to mind Genesis 3 verse 8, where it says, and when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And that calls to mind 1 John chapter 2, verses 15 through 17, and it says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of God abideth forever. So in verse 16, you see the parallel between Genesis chapter 3 and here in 1 John chapter 2, verse 16. It's talking about the same thing. The lust of the eye, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. And lust means to breathe hard after. In the original, in the Greek, I believe it's epithumeu. Verify that fact. And so in Genesis 3, it says she saw it was good for food, it was pleasant to the eyes, and desirable to make one wise. And that's what he's talking about right here. The lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. So breathing hard after things, and like if you get angry, you start breathing hard, or if you see a nice car that you want, it makes you like actually like breathe hard. And so the way I wanted to relate that to this is that recently someone told me about biblos, and that's where the word Bible comes from. And they'll say that it comes from Gabul. Sorry, I'm grabbing a book. So I'm going to go ahead and read from this book and tell you a little bit about the word Bible. And I want you to think about that in the terms of idolatry. There's actually a word for Bible that has to do with idolatry here. And this book right here is by More and More, and it's Dictionary of Latin and Greek Origins. So Dictionary of Latin and Greek Origins. So, and it's word origins. So, and here's a little look right here. I'm going to have to flip the page. But so it says, Biblion, book, papyrus, scroll, biblio. The combining form biblio refers to books, hence a biblioclast destroys books, a biblioclep steals them, and bibliolatry is an unusual dependence upon or reverence for books, particularly the Bible. That's the one that makes money here for what we're talking about. And bibliolatry is an unusual dependence upon or reverence for books, particularly the Bible. So idololatruo means to serve what you see, and that's idolatry. So this is a combination, you can see, of serving the book. And that's where biblios comes in, because that's connected to the word Gabul, which means papyri. So, and that was what, there was a big export there in that particular town, Byblos, where they transferred the papyri. So they say that that's where that name came from. So bibliolatry is the deification of books. So I wanted to give you a few more words here in this lineup. It says bibliomania is an excessive and abnormal fondness for acquiring and possessing books. A bibliophage is an ardent reader. A bibliophile loves and collects books, especially fine bindings and print work. And a bibliophobe distrusts fears or hates books. A bibliopole is a bookseller, usually of fine or rare editions. A bibliotaph accumulates or hoards books, and a bibliography is a list of articles or books on a particular subject or by a certain author. Most large private or public collections of books in this country are called libraries, but some have Athenaeum or Bibliotheca engraved above their entrances or designating special reading rooms. In France, it's Bibliothèque. In Italy, Portugal, Romania, and Spain, it's Bibliotheca. In German, Bibliothek. In Denmark, Norway, and Sweden, Bibliothek. And in Russia, it's Bibliotheca. Papyrus was the material that the ancient Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans used for writing. The source of much of the Greeks' papyrus was shipped from the Phoenician port of Byblos, and it is quite likely that from the name of the port came Biblion, and from that came the English word Bible. We capitalize the word when it refers to the sacred writings of the Christian religion. Dr. Foster held the Bible school this fall. It is not capitalized when it names an authoritative book or reference. The football coach referred to his playbook as his Bible. The poet Dylan Thomas used the word in an adjectival sense in this play under Milkwood. It is spring, moonless night in a small town, starless and Bible black. Biblicism is the literal interpretation of the Bible, and a person who so interprets is called a biblicist or a biblist. So there you go. That helped verify the thing I was telling you about Kabul and the Bible there. Actually, I'm not sure if I don't think it mentioned Kabul, but if you look up the word and like ETYMonline.com, it's Etym it's Etymology Online Dictionary. It'll tell you that fact about Kabul. But so I wanted to also here share with you a little connection. So because Byblos is said to be the place of the goddess Baal, I can't remember her name right off. It's like Baal. Oh man, 1 second. Sorry guys, I had to get a little close there. I'm gonna look on my computer real quick. It is her name is can't find it. Baalat. There we go. Baalat. So the goddess of fortifications was Athena, and the thing is, whenever you get to the female goddess, often they're always connected. So you might have heard of Circe, and Circe is where we get the word church. So I think it's interesting the connection there between the goddess and Astarte, Athena, and Aphrodite. All of those will have little slight nuances that are different, but they're usually connected. And you know, the goddess of fortifications, like that's connected to the same way the Catholics use Mother Mary. So it's actually, the building is the word church, and they call it the house of the Lord, right? So a lot of times they deified the mother as the actual structures. That's why we have cities that are called like they'll call like the mother Russia or mother town. That would be the nation, but sometimes you'll hear metropolis, or it means mother of the people, or the alma mater of a school means the mother instruction. So in that same way, I find that connection there with the way they use the church and the Bible. Yeah, so they actually deify the book, just like that said, bibliolatry. It's the same thing as serving what you see, because that's the thing. A lot of people have no idea even what's in the Bible, like those connections I made for you from Genesis 3, 1 John 2, and Ecclesiastes chapter 1 about the idolatry is like serving what you see, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. She saw that it was good for food, it was pleasant to the eyes, and desirable to make one wise, as a using something else as a source of wisdom besides God. So God is our source of wisdom, right? So we have tradition, and sometimes tradition in the Bible is actually used in a good sense by Paul, and sometimes it's used in a bad sense by Paul. So Jesus used it in a bad sense there in Mark chapter 7 when he said, "You make the word of God of none effect by your tradition." When Paul uses it in good sense when he says, if anybody like brings a different tradition besides what we taught, and I can't remember everything he says, but so the point here being is that the framework of what the Holy Scriptures say, along with the behavior and the actions that we find by the men in the Bible who were led by God, because we're led by God today. So we have the text that helps guide, and people become bibliolatry or bibliolaters, deifying that literal book, and also going to this place they call the church, which is a building named after the female goddess Circe, in the same way that Byblos was the place where they worshipped this female goddess. So anyways, I dug a lot looking for some kind of stuff specifically tying the Byblos to the goddess. But what I could only really find in a lot of the, like McClintock and Strong's Encyclopedia of Biblical, Theological, and Ecclesiastical Literature, or the Encyclopedia of Religion and Ethics, edited by James Hastings. And those encyclopedia sets, I read a lot about it, and I found out a lot about how they worshipped that female deity. But what I found more along the lines is the actual etymology of the words and how those connect, and just how people actually will deify the literal book. So anyways, I hope that this helps, and I hope you enjoyed watching this. So thanks for watching. Bye.